All right, everyone. Welcome. Welcome back to the next episode of The Weave and the Void as we continue our 5th edition campaign going throughout the world of The Weave and the Void and the city of Parthana. If you haven't watched previous episodes, you can get caught up on those over at the YouTube channel for Weave and the Void. The previous 4 episodes are live. They go up every Wednesday at 11 a.m. and we live stream every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central, like we are here tonight. It has been a busy week, but now that we're back, we are continuing where we left off. In the previous session, we had ended up coming back to Thanon Rockguard's smithy to see if he had any additional work, because he had mentioned having some tasks for you, perhaps, after you had a chance to settle in and roam around town. And when you arrived, you found that his forge was under attack. Appeared to be led by his cousin, Jurl, who had helped you unload the boats when you first arrived in the city. Now you have survived the encounter. There was one, I think there was one, a handful of guys that got away that ran once you had slaughtered most of them. And as you stand now, Thanon is standing over the corpse of Jurl, his axe firmly buried in the guy's skull, kind of like Gimli in Lord of the Rings when he's holding the axe and the body's twitching a little bit. So you're here. That's what's happened. As we get going here, this is the perfect time to say, if you're not sure who we are or what's going on or any of that good stuff, I'm Tim Anderson, also known as Renfail, and myself, Joey Anderson, aka Bim, and Christina Barrios, aka Chrisma. The three of us represent the Wandering Hermits, who have this campaign world called The Weave and the Void. It's a 5th edition tabletop setting, but it also houses a point-and-click adventure game and a book series, Chapter 22 of which just went live this past Thursday. You can find more information about all of these things over on patreon.com/wandering hermits. You can get a copy of the book, the tabletop source book, as well as the adventure module Escape from Parthana, which we're currently playing. That's part of the same book. You can get your digital versions at the Patreon page, or you can go over to weaveandvoid.com and get a copy. Story by Joey and I did all the writing. Chris did a lot of the artwork. Nathan's got artwork in there for the races and classes, and he's finishing up, I think, one more image for some random art. And then we've got 8 images to insert in. We also have a creature from Galoon and Bounty's daughter, and some more artwork from her that we have. I think we've shared it on the Patreon page, but not. I don't know that we've shared anything out to the public yet. So that'll be tasty stuff coming at some point in the future.
Real quick too,
Yeah.
before we get going here, I did want to say that I know that Sparrow and Bounty that we're just friends online, but I felt the emptiness of you guys being gone the past few days. I missed you guys a lot. I just want you to
No,
know
it
that.
is.
I felt it for real. Like I actually was like, oh man, I miss Bounty and Sparrow.
Thank
So
We
you.
had
just
a
want you to
We
know.
missed you guys too.
I missed our P99
Yes.
session. It was like
Yes.
a emptiness to the week.
I was talking about that with Kel the other day. It was like, this kind of sucks. Like, I mean, it's cool hanging out with the EQTLP people, but it's not the same because we've established our routine now of every Thursday night we're doing stuff together, every Friday night we're doing stuff together, every Sunday night we're doing stuff together. And when you miss those sessions, the void is real, ladies and gentlemen.
You feel it. Yeah, you're like, oh man.
Yeah, we did too. We
Yeah,
were
I
saying
did
it
too.
to
I
each
was like,
other. Yeah.
I was up there going, I'd rather be playing P99.
Yeah.
This is also a perfect opportunity to remind everybody who's tuning in to live tonight that we do a lot of stuff together. We're all a pretty tight knit group of people, so we're streaming together, we're playing together. We got a lot of stuff going on between the P99 sessions on Friday nights, the World of Warcraft stuff on Thursday nights, and beyond. Nathan did artwork for us. I'm doing voiceover stuff for Nathan, which is yet to be revealed. That'll be coming out soon.
Nice.
I had a talk with Skinny and his wife recently. They're going to be doing some dice bags for
Ooh,
us
those
for
are
the Kickstarter,
nice.
Oh, so
and
cool.
for the people who, if you read today's Patreon post, there is a little link in there to their Etsy store so that people can get a preview of perhaps something that we're looking to get as we wind our way down towards the Kickstarter for the hardback version of this. So I would like to give a shout out, keying off of what Nathan just said. You are the 5 people you surround yourself with is a saying that I've often heard, and I really do think it's true. And also, I would like to say that when you surround yourself with good people, it not only makes your life better, but it makes everything you do better. It's like you can enjoy the sunset, and it's a cool sunset, but when you can enjoy the sunset with someone you care about, it makes it infinitely more enjoyable because you're able to share that. And when you have a good group of people, I would do a group hug right now, but we're
I
all
know.
This is
I
getting,
mean,
this is
hug,
getting
100%.
really,
I love
this is
it.
getting really mushy in here. You know,
hug.
And by the way, for anybody that maybe doesn't know that sunset reference, Chrisma taught him that.
I used to
Under
enjoy my
siege.
sunsets alone. As we get going, I would also say to remind people, because I just happened to look over and remembered this. If you're watching tonight, or if you've watched in the past, the channel points that you earn can be spent to help or hinder a party member. You can buy them items from the what is the name of that list? It's like a
Adventure.
adventuring gear list.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Hunger Games drops. You can also save up your points and help or hinder a player character by controlling their actions. And if you save up enough points, you can even get me to do something that I might not normally want to do. There may be limits to those things, but fireballs to the face tend to maybe not. We won't let that happen again, but other things might
Drac,
happen.
we're talking to you.
What's the name of that list so I can pull it up and and have a link ready?
Oh,
Brownie,
man,
you have it, don't you?
I think it's
Adventurers,
Adventures Gear.
yeah.
Adventures Gear. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, within reason. Within reason. There might be some limit. I might look at something and go, "That's too powerful. Pick something else." Healing potions are usually a good thing. Thieving kits, crowbars have been popular in the past. Pickaxes, things of that nature.
Wish rings.
That's not OP.
Level 9 wish spell.
Those can go sideways really quick. I don't know if
They
you've ever
can.
seen that.
Oh yeah, smart
Oh,
DM.
yeah,
They
I
can
would-
totally twist that one up.
I would wreak havoc with that
Yeah.
if someone tried to pull that one off. We would have
That's
fun
what I'm
with
worried
that.
about.
By the way, and this has nothing to do with our game. For those of you who love Dungeons and Dragons, quick shout outs before we get going. If you like tabletop and stuff, for one, Solasta, which is an amazing game if you haven't played it yet, released their co-op and multiplayer update and consoles. So it's out on the Xbox Series X, One, Series S. You can play it multiplayer and cross-play between console, PC, and Mac, and it's on Game Pass. It's turn-based. It's got all the grids. It's got dice rolls, and now you can play with up to 4 of your friends. Also, patch 8 just went live for Baldur's Gate 3. So if you've owned the pre-order of that, I've been playing the new Bard class, and I don't ever play Bards ever. It is premier. It is so cool. So this is above and beyond for people who like D&D stuff.
Sparrow, when she gets a hold of that druid in Baldur's Gate 3, I mean, it's going to
You can
change
shape
her life.
change. You can
change her
have
life.
pets.
Ooh.
You can do so many cool things, and you can pick like the animal shape that you want to be. And like the first, not to spoil anything, but like the first thing you do when you get going is like you're gonna encounter a druid ring, and if you're a druid, there's so much more you can do in that
Oh, yeah.
camp than if
Oh,
you're
it's
just
so
a normal
good.
person. It's
Oh, so good.
And I
It's
can
so
play
good.
as a group.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
You can, we can.
we're going to.
We're
soon.
going
We're
to.
totally going to do
Where
it.
I pinged Nathan in his live stream the other day. I was like, dude, we got to make this happen. Like, because we could do 4 of us, and
Mhm.
it's gonna be good. So
I'm
So
willing to
good.
try, absolutely.
It
worth
really is the closest anybody has ever gotten to being like, here's a D&D campaign, go wild. Do what you want to do. Do your D&D stuff, all you want.
Sounds
Nerd out.
tempting.
that
Because I
would
need
be
another game to
tempting.
play right now, right?
Yeah, I know. You need another one to like fill in that extra
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
minutes of free time you have.
Fill the void.
Nobody needs time for bio breaks.
Seriously.
Like,
We have to
fill
keep
that
them
void.
busy so they don't have time for real life anymore.
Well, we got to start
Oh.
doing stuff during the day because my evenings are running out.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife today was like, what days are free? Didn't you say Sunday? I was like, well, I got D&D Sunday.
All right.
Man.
Thanon Rockard
Anywho.
has a twitching axe lodged in Drill's skull as he's holding the haft of it, and as he looks around these sprawling corpses. Thanks for arriving when you did, because that bastard's been waiting for this time to happen. As you look around over the chaos here, everyone's starting to sort of calm down after what just happened. And Thanon has given you a brief explanation of that Jurl had, he had no suspicions that this was going to take place, but obviously his cousin was just waiting for the perfect opportunity to try to take over the business, apparently. As he's standing there looking over and surveying the situation, he looks back at you. Have you guys find anything out about what's going on in the city and since I saw you last?
We've been attacked repeatedly.
Aye, I've been hearing that, and obviously Gerald's got together these band of hooligans and ruffians, and they're not part of the Raven Syndicate, so I don't know
Oh.
what's happening here.
What do you know of the Raven Syndicate?
Well, it's it depends on how much you want to pay them, but they're not a bad bunch of smugglers and contrabandsistas if you got the coin, but they're usually not about petty theft like this and robbing us merchants. Besides, they know that I've got arrangements with the leadership. They wouldn't get out of hand. So I don't know why they would be doing anything of this kind, but these appear to be just normal hooligans. Besides, I
Yeah.
mean, Raven Syndicate's mostly sticking to the information trade these days and robbing the nobles. It's high trade for them. They don't tend to do much of the skullduggery that you might suspect of pickpockets and thievery type.
So why did he attack you?
I'm assuming he's wanting to take over the business. Why else would he attack me?
Did he give you an offer?
No, he just came out smarter than we came out, and we were getting ready to go about the forge, and all of a sudden he was there with his men and started just throwing arrows in our direction, and no explanation given whatsoever. He gives it another shake. Lucky for me, you all came along when you did.
And you're talking about the city. We just left the church not too long ago, and they're really hopping with all kinds of sick people and stuff in there. So that could be causing some havoc with the patrols and things like that.
Sick people, you say?
And of course, it's all humans, which is why you may not have noticed anything in this part of town.
Yeah, there's nobody been sick in this part of town at all. And as a matter of fact, we haven't seen too many of the checkpoints here. It's mostly up towards the human parts of town. That might bear some further investigation. You all feel like you might be up for a little bit of a sightseeing tour. Maybe dig up a little more information for us about what's going on.
We could, but we could also use a place to stay because nowhere we've been is safe.
We've been attacked every turn we take in this city, and it's just becoming really tedious.
It's not like my place is going to be any safer, as you can see.
We really could use a rest.
And we'll help. I think it would be good to have us around just in case he has some lackeys maybe show up later.
All right. Well, in the meantime, let's get these bodies cleaned up and stuck them in
Sure.
the pile over there by the wagon.
DM, I have a question.
Yeah.
What was the city law of a bunch of people murdered in the street?
That's a good
'Cause
question.
I would know that as a character, but I don't know that as a
Well,
player.
the city watch would typically handle these types of situations, not necessarily the paladins.
Yeah.
I would say if something of this nature, the first thing to do would be to go summon the city watch and immediately bring them to the scene of the crime so that they can start an investigation.
So I would. All right. Now that I know that would be the right thing to do, I'm going to tell them. I'll go gather City Watch. I'll be right back, just so they can be aware of the situation.
And maybe just mention to them that this isn't the first time we've been attacked 3-4 times that you've been even a witness of.
Okay. Where are you wanting to go to try to find a city watch? The headquarters would be over in the same district where the church is.
Ooh, that's pretty far. It's risky. Well, I gotta do what's right. So yeah, I'll head that way.
I just saw Sparrow's comment. You're wanting to head all the way across
She
town?
does. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do what's right and report it. That.
All right. Are you making this known to everybody, by the way?
Yeah, I told. I was talking to Thalen. Is that right? Is that the right name?
Thanon.
Thanon. I was talking to
All
Thanon
right.
to tell him that that's what I was going
Well,
to
if you're going to the City Watch, do me a favor. If you can
Yes.
find out any information about what's going on, dig a little deeper if you can. I know you might find more information out at the Vestige Temple. Of course, there's the Circle of Mages. I don't know if any more information has come to light since you've been doing your investigations around town. But keep an ear out, and if you find anything else, I could get some gold to you for the time, because obviously something's going down, and they don't want to tell anybody what's happening because these checkpoints are getting out of hand, and as well as all the attacks that have been happening against you, and now we've got this happening here. It's worth investigating.
What
Should
time
someone
is
go
it?
with you, or
Right. I
I don't
was
know
gonna
if
say
it's a good idea.
we shouldn't split up probably. And how late is it right now?
So you had left after breakfast, which is around 9 a.m. So it's about 11 a.m. at this point. Well, also with the
Okay.
battle, we're talking more like noon. Actually, I'd forgotten about the battle too, so it's about noon at this point.
Okay, at least it's
None
not
of us.
night.
Yeah,
It'll
none of us
basically
are
be an
even
all-day
2
trip.
feet up.
It'll take you about 4 hours to get over to depending on things, 3 to 4 hours to get over to the church. I mean, the only other
you all
option would
wanna
be
come,
if you happen to see a city watch along the way. You
Sure.
did see some city watch yesterday on your way to the church, if you remember. After you got attacked, it was right when Thamius had decided he was going to go off and save the group of random strangers who were getting attacked in a side street, and as he was going off to save them, a group of the city watch came up and started defending the person.
Can I
Yeah.
not travel faster than these people since I have wings?
Um,
If I have to take
theoretically,
off by myself.
theoretically,
I don't know how.
I don't think we haven't.
This news would.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I think a human needs to be amongst them. When
Yeah.
just so there's no trouble.
Well, and you
Probably
were supposed to be keeping tabs on us, so you're not going to want us kind of all wandering off either.
And I forget, why did we make our way back to Thanon's Forge to look for quests?
He had said he was going to have some additional work for you, and now that you've got here, you found that
Right.
he was being attacked, and now he's asking if you wouldn't mind figuring out if there's anything going on. And as Thamius is saying this, he's saying, you keep your eye out for anything that might be going on, because in addition to finding out what might be going on in this city, because I need to know if there's going to be something coming my way towards the forge. Keep an eye out, because I need to know if there's any more checkpoints set up, because we've got a load of supplies to get back to Farron's ship, and we need to know if everything's been locked down by checkpoints, or if we're going to be able to take the side streets, because if that's the case, I'm going to need you lot, assuming you're up for it, to take the goods back to Farron's ship, just like you brought him here in the first place, because obviously I no longer have Gerald to rely upon.
Well, we could do that, and Thanon could look for the city guard if he wants to.
I'm not reporting anything to the city guard, lass.
Well, no,
I'm going to be
just saying
burying
for
these
Dave.
lot in the backyard, tossing them in the gutter. There's
Well,
a sewer
then I
grate
guess-
right back there.
Okay, well then I guess Thamius is going to want to do that instead of taking the goods.
Thamius might not find any bodies when he returns. Thana's not just going to let bodies sit around for 3 hours while you go find the city watch. He's going to be like, there's
Yeah.
a sewer grate right over there, and I'm going to use a
Oh.
wheelbarrow, and we're going to be pushing bodies into the sewer.
We're making sausages.
Oh.
Well, I have to do what I'm supposed to do, so I don't know if anybody wants to go with me. But
I wanna go with Thamius. Stick with him.
I mean,
Just
it
the
sounds
right
like this
thing
is
to
what
do.
we're going to be doing anyway, right? It's traveling around the city and figuring things out for this guy. So we may as well
Yeah.
all
Yeah, we may
pile
learn
over.
something new. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I guess I'll go. And then
help him toss some bodies down a sewer, I guess, at first, and then, well, no. Head out.
All right. So, okay, yeah. The first thing he's gonna do is you're gonna pile the bodies up by the wagon, and
By the
then
wagon, yeah.
and then he's gonna make sure no one's looking. All right, this way, lads. And he's gonna take you out back behind his place, and down a couple of little side alleys, and you come upon a big city grate about 3 foot around, and he's gonna get a primer out and pry that thing open. All right, this is where they go. We should be okay to get these down here without anybody taking a peek.
Am I with them?
I don't know. Are you? They brought a couple of wheelbarrows, few bodies per.
Does this sewage water?
I said, I thought
It's
we were
deep.
leaving.
Oh, I thought Skinny said he was sticking around to help deal
No,
with
we
the
should leave.
bodies.
No, we'll leave.
All right.
We'll leave.
Yeah.
I get the idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Dumping it into the public water supply.
Yeah.
Well, the sewers anyway.
We'll
It's
guide the pally
outward
on the way.
bound.
Not
Oh, it's
inbound.
outward. Okay.
Uh, and these are Fey, all Fey bodies?
No, these were humans.
these
Humans,
are
half
humans.
elves, etc.
And his brother, the dwarf.
Yeah, and the dwarf, and it was a mixture of dwarves, humans, half elves, etc. All right, so you guys are choosing to go back out onto the city streets. Let me get another map up for everybody. Images. We need Parthana with POIs. Share the map. Everybody should have this map shared. All right, so you're going to leave the Dwarven District, which is number 6. You're going to go out to number 7 area, which is the avenue going up the marketplace. And as you get to Heron's Square, which is number 8, you're going to come to a checkpoint. Now, in this case, you've got checkpoints to the. It didn't share the second map. Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
Parthana with POIs. Should have an
Got
There
arrow.
it is.
All right. I may have missed the second click, so I apologize.
And FYI, you can't keep more than one map open.
Oh, it won't let you.
Mine's open. I have 2 open.
You
Oh.
probably just can't maximize more than 2.
Right, you can't. Yeah.
All right, you leave at 6. You go southeast a little bit, then you go up to the north, then you hit the main street, come back up past the market at number 7 until you get to number 8, which is the Heron Plaza. Now, as you approach, there are 4 checkpoints set up, one at each corner. As you arrive, you are going to be flagged down, and they are going to address Nathan, Thamis' character. Soldier, what are you doing with these Fae in your company?
Yes, I've been given orders to watch them while they're in the city.
Do you have those orders with you, sir?
No, these were spoken. This was a verbal order given by the captain.
Well, unfortunately, we are no longer allowing any Fae of any kind on any business whatsoever into the human district of towns. Your friends will have to wait if you have business beyond.
Even on official business with me?
Unless you have a writ decreeing that they have a permission to pass, they will need to remain here.
And so, going on this entire, they can't even leave the city if they choose.
At the moment, no. And he's going to point to the south towards on the map. If you look, it's number 9 on the map. And in the distance, you see, let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. All right. in the distance, it's a little far to make out, but you can see it. Thamius, you can sense it. A quantum barrier has been erected over the main gates of the city, which is number 9. And this captain of this checkpoint's going to look at you and say, "Haven't you heard? The city's been put into lockdown. The gates have been sealed. No one's going in or out until further notice from the enlightened father."
Could we talk in private? I was not aware of this. I've been telling and following these people. I'm a little bit behind on the news. Could we maybe talk in private? You could tell me more of what's going on.
The only thing I know is the orders that have been sent down from the church. If you want to know more, you'll have to talk to the commanders and the elders at the Vestige Temple.
Okay, would you allow us passage through so I can do that?
You and the other one here. I'm assuming, Skinny, you've got your emblems. I didn't.
Yep.
We never really defined your robes, but you're a scribe of some type, so you would
Right.
also have visible. You two can pass, but the rest of you will have to remain here. No Fae beyond this point.
Hey, thank you for the update. All right, so I'd like to turn back to my group and kind of motion that we should move back a bit so we can get a little privacy.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Well-
you feel that you need to go to the human district, we can wait for you at the forge, the Thanos' forge. You can do your final check-in, but that's weird.
I'm thinking we should get out of this city.
Yeah.
Well,
Can we?
the exit is being. I hate to
There's
break it to you.
always more than one
What
way.
What
out
about
of
a
city.
waterway?
Like where we were dumping bodies?
Floating down the
The
river with a
sewer?
bunch of bodies.
Yeah.
Row,
Sounds good to
row,
me.
row your corpse gently down the sewer.
Well, I have a feeling that our dwarven friend back there may have contaminated that area pretty badly. It's certainly an option. I don't think things are quite that dire. I'm sure that whatever's going on, the church will get under control and we'll be back on our
I've been
way.
attacked several times, and now I'm locked in a city where I'm not wanted and have been attacked repeatedly. I'm thinking
And
it'd
we're
be
not
better to get out
allowed
of here.
past this point. I'm feeling pretty boxed in.
Yeah.
Thanon did
So-
mention that you could find information at the church or the Circle of Mages. He
Mhm.
did suggest that you could
Oh,
look
we
at
could
either one of those
yeah.
places to try
Ah.
to find
That is
information
true.
out.
And we
But-
can get to Circle Mages. That's
Yes.
in
Yeah.
this
That's
area.
behind us. Yeah.
I have to be
Well,
honest with all of you because you've risked your lives for me. Tensions are not good between the human and your kinds. This feels like we may all be in danger.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
it's definitely
That's just
ramped up from where it was last week or 2 weeks
Just
ago.
yesterday. No, even just yesterday it's
Yeah.
ramped up because yesterday
true.
you were able to get through the checkpoint
Right.
with the
Right.
elves, with the Fae in tow.
Right.
A little bit of grumbling. You even took them into the Vestige Temple, and you had the encounter with
Right.
the grumpy old man who you accused of being a drunk. And thankfully, you managed to get out of that situation with some dicey rolls.
Yeah.
But you were at least able to get, and you even saw some Circle Mages who were there at the Vestige
Right.
Temple on official business, just as you saw Templars and Paladins on official business at Circle of Mages. But that was yesterday. This is today.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could use we could use possibly some of your contacts at the Circle of Mages bounty to maybe find out what's going on here and maybe ascertain just how serious is this going to pass over or is this just going to continue to tighten on our necks.
Okay.
One thing too that we should find out, because doesn't like Thanon wants to be able to ship goods out of here. We got to find out if it's ships leaving as well that are not
Right.
allowed to leave, which I'm assuming it is. But
Can we
um,
get up there? Because the four ways is blocked.
You would
well, it's
not by the main
excuse me.
street. Yeah.
What's that
Excuse
back
me,
way that was-
captain of the
Yes. can I help
checkpoint here. You mentioned that the gates are closed. Is all cargo and ships stopped
Yes.
as well, or is there any way?
All ships have been locked down in berths as well. No one is sailing in or out, and no one is leaving the city.
So we've shut down trade as well then.
Yes.
In and out of the city. That's takes it to a whole nother level. And you said so this was from the All Father, the Elder Father.
Yeah, the Enlightened Father.
Okay, Enlightened Father. Okay. All right.
Not good.
Yeah, not good. I guess I will make my way back if you guys can help
Yep.
and accompany me
Yes, definitely.
Might as well. Yeah.
and check out what the Circle of Mages has to say about this.
Okay. All right, as you retreat back down the avenue past the market, you get down towards the place where you went before, where the city streets, the cobblestone gives way to packed earth, and you start getting into forested areas, and you start to see these buildings that are built with the trees, and you know that this is the wreck of the Circle of Mages. But as you start to transition from the city into the forest environment, you find the way blocked by at least 2 dozen mages from the Circle of Mages who have set up a checkpoint of their own
Oh, boy.
on the road going into the Elven district.
Oh boy.
And as you approach, you're going to get stuck in a line like everyone else, um, and eventually you will make your way up to the checkpoint, unless you want to do something while you're in line.
Yeah, I would probably want to ask people staying in line what's going on, or
I don't know. It's we've never seen this before. We've always been able to enter freely into the Circle of Mages. I don't know. No one
And the
knows.
people in line, are a mix, like not
It's
just Fae, it's humans.
it's a
Fae.
mix of everyone.
Okay.
As you start to get closer, you notice that humans, some are being turned away, but some are being let through. So it doesn't appear to be the same type of checkpoint the as the ones that the humans have set up. And eventually, you make your way up front, and halt. You're going to be approached by a pair of mages, specifically Thamius and Skinny, because you are wearing church clothing. What's your business here?
we were directed. We weren't allowed entry into the rest of the city, and we were directed that we could get information on what's going on in the city. Here at the Circle of Mages. So
All right, they're going to
down to
scan
you.
your party. There's only one elf with you.
An elf.
What's that?
Chris is an elf, isn't she?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah,
and-
there's two. I
Sea
forgot
elf,
Chris
yeah.
is an elf. Sorry, we have 2 elves with us. Let me roll another dice here. Okay. The 2 elves, the brownie and the dwarf, can pass. Unfortunately, the 2 of you will need to wait here until I can receive further instructions. So he's not going to let Skinny and Thamius through, but the other 4 can pass.
I know. In my few dealings in the past, I've spoken with Mariel. Maybe if you ask Mariel, she might understand that we're friends to the circle and we've been here before.
Roll a persuasion real quick.
Oh yeah, that ain't gonna work.
I don't know any Muriel, unfortunately.
Whoa.
Not sure of whom you speak. By the way, I'm going to share the
Uh,
Circle of Mages map here with everybody, since you're on a new map here.
Okay, and I get the way that was answered. That I'll assume that's where it's gonna be left.
You'll be waiting here with
Ouch.
your other Church of the Eloways member.
I will try to be
Very
quick.
well.
Mm.
I'd like to whisper over very lightly to Skinny. These damn elves are causing me to break my order.
I know it makes it certainly tough to keep the vows.
All right, no one overheard you whispering, cursing the elves.
When ones are good.
Yes, when ones are good for the party. All right. So the 4 of you who are Fae can pass beyond this point.
Yeah, I'll go.
And-
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. Are you all going, or is anyone staying behind with Skinny and Thamius?
Um,
Honestly, I could just go at this point on my own and just
Yeah, I didn't have
let
a
you
good
know.
experience with the teleporters. I'll probably
Yeah,
just stay here.
I forgot about the teleporters. Everybody's smirking at you as they step on it, be like, "Nee, nee, 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 we can use the
I'll just
porters."
stay here.
yeah. There's no
Need-
point.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
can't. I'll be in the lobby.
yeah, they won't let you pass into anywhere that I'm going to try to get to the
Oh,
Okay.
that's a
Professor
fair
of Life
point.
again.
Do you want to go with Bounty, Chrisma?
Okay.
Okay. You can
Yeah.
stay if you want. You are not a mage. You are but you are an elf, and they are letting you past because you are an elf. So you can go with him if you'd like.
The library is public access though, right?
Yes, yes. Well, it was the last time you were here.
I'll
It
pro-
remains to be seen.
I would just say I'll go to see if I can't find any hunting books or something. Why not?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So the three of you are going. Okay. Okay. All right. You make your way back to the main tower where you went before. What's your objective while you're here, Bounty?
I guess try to get the Professor of Life was at Aranel,
I gotta
who
find where I
talked
wrote
with
that
me
down.
earlier.
Oh, you did write it down. Thank God. Thankfully, I wrote it down too. Woo! Because I didn't know who we were talking to until you said his name, and I was like, there it is. It's in my notes. All right, so you're gonna be hunting down Aranel. You get to the main hall. It is chaos. When you get to the main tower, there's like at least 3 times more traffic than there was when you came through the first time. And you don't see at the moment, all you see are Fae. As you pass the checkpoint, any humans that were at the checkpoint are not being allowed to go into the circle of mages. They're being shuffled off to the sides into what looks to be like waiting houses. Um, and who knows how they're being attended to or anything else, but there are no humans actually that you've been able to notice going up to the circle and into the main tower. And when you arrive, it's only Fae. People are, moving around quickly. There's hushed whispers everywhere. Um, Something is definitely going down. Are you going to go to the front desk and ask to find Aranol?
Yes, whoever looks like it's like customer service.
Okay, well, you go up to the main desk and there's a flighty little brownie attending the desk, and she's sweating
Ooh.
profusely. Can I help you? Yes. What is it? What is it?
What's going on
I
here?
don't know. It's just they've locked down the city. The city gates are locked down. The birth ships, and you can't. It's just it's. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for the Professor of Life, Aranel.
Aranel, 1 second, please. She's gonna turn around. She's gonna frantically go through like a Rolodex looking thing, but it's a leafy Rolodex, if that will make sense. She's gonna scan down, and she's gonna pull a little crystal rod out. She's gonna use that crystal rod to strike this crystal tube that's on the desk, and you hear this little chime go off that resonates into the distance. And she just turns around and says, "He'll be here in a minute if he's available. Thank you. Have a good day." And she turns back around and starts answering questions from other people. Um, Bim, Bounty, and Chrisma roll perception rolls. Roll perception.
Nice.
Okay, Bounty.
My keen eagle eye.
I spy with my little eye.
Or like keen eye.
Or your big pointy ears, one of the two.
Yeah.
Heard something.
All right, Bim, nothing. Chrisma, nothing. Bounty, you hear someone speaking in High Elf. It's just like a whisper conversation, like not even a whisper, but it's just like you catch something out of the corner of your ear, like a random conversation that's happening in the hall. Something about a bunch of sick people. Something about morgues full of bodies in the human district. Um, Hundreds dead. Um, and then it's gone. Like it's just a whisper of something. Um, and then whoever was talking disappears. A few moments later, you see Arenal step down off of one of the teleporters. He's just going to appear out of nothing and approach the front desk. And he's got papers in his hands. He gets to the front desk. Yes, yes. Who? And he turns and sees you. Ah, Bounty. What can I do for you?
Ah, my good friend Aranel. I was hoping you could help fill me in with what the heck is going on in this city.
You've not heard.
Not really. I've just overheard here little chatter of morgues and bodies and.
All right. He's going to look around. Come with me. And he's going to motion you over to a small little antechamber over to the right.
Okay.
Chrisma and Bim, do you want to go with Bounty?
I don't think we can we?
Yeah, I mean you're with him. He's not gonna.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, he's gonna take over the antechamber. Yeah, Bim went. Oh, he's back.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Bim went dark.
Bim went sneaking off into the library. Um,
I checked
so
my pouch.
yeah. Where did Bim go? Why is my pouch lighter?
Wrong character, guys. Come on.
Oh,
So where were we?
You're talking about the virus that hit.
Yeah, so
Angloria.
years ago, a virus hit Angloria. It was pretty bad. The church reached out to the mages for help, and were eventually the two combined were able to combat the plague. From what they're seeing right now, as he explains this to you, they're in full-on panic mode because they don't want to have another plague like happened before. So they're initiating full-on quarantine procedures. But here's where things get super interesting. It's not just that, he whispers to you. The Church of the Elder Ways sent an envoy today and asked for our assistance and said that it's an unknown sickness. So whatever it is, only appears to be affecting the humans and half-elves from what we've seen so far. None of the Fae have been affected.
oh, that won't look good.
It certainly won't help with the tensions, that's for sure. In the meantime, all I can say is that they've locked down the city gates and the port, so no ships in or out and no one going in and out. We've got humans coming here, trying to figure out what's going in. For those who have contact and business with us, and unfortunately, we know nothing more than what we've heard from the church. We've sent envoys as of this morning. They sent their envoy here. We've asked for more information. We have yet to receive it.
What's your advice of what we should do?
At this point in time, it's find a place to lay low. I don't know if you've ever been through an outbreak before, but it can get a little chaotic in the streets, and if it does prove to be an actual plague and not just a random sickness that is going to burn itself out in a couple of days, it could spread beyond the human district. But as of right now, from what it appears, it's only affected the humans and the half-elves.
So stay away from the human district.
It would probably be a good idea if you can avoid it.
No, at this
Stay
point,
away
they're
from
not even allowing
humans.
us in.
Because of the checkpoints, you're saying.
Yes.
That's interesting, because they hadn't told us that when the envoy came. Well, I wonder if our envoys will make it past the checkpoints to talk to the temples. Elders. Interesting.
Yeah, unless they have written documentation from the church, I don't think they will.
Okay. Well, thank you for the information. Do you have a place to stay?
Because I'm with a couple of humans that weren't allowed through this checkpoint here, we might have to go back to the inn that we were in before, Thanan's Forge or something.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going to be easier, probably that than trying to get the humans through your checkpoint.
Well, as long as you've got a good tavern where you can lay low, that would be recommended. It's going to be, who knows what's going to happen at this point. I would say just try to stay off the streets at night if you can. And, I mean, the checkpoints might be a little tricky if they're not letting any of the Fae through, but try to use side streets when you can, but just keep your eyes open.
I'm surprised they haven't contacted you, being a professor of life and helping with
They
some kind of healing solution.
That's literally why the envoy was sent today. They asked for our assistance in trying to see if we can't come up with some sort of a healing potion or a spell or a ritual or something that can help them aid it. So we've got the entire
Ah,
circle of life, including the circle of death as well, working on it as we speak.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay, cool, good, good. You wouldn't happen to have any spare healing potions you could spare?
I can give you two on me that I have right now, and he pulls a couple
Ah,
out of his pouch. These are
thank
all
you
I can
very
spare for
much.
the moment.
Thank you, thank you. That'll be very helpful. Okay, well, thank you for the information. If I find anything more, I'll try to come back and let you know. And we're going to try to probably hold out at the inn. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck.
All right, guys. Bim and Chris are with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how much of that you heard, but it doesn't look good. And I think we need to get back together with the group and go back to the inn.
I think we need to ditch the humans.
Oh, I don't know. While we're in the city, I don't know if we can.
Yeah. Doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. I was going to say to try to escape through the waterways, but if the boats are locked down, unless Thanon has some private boat he could use to help us escape.
We do have a sailor amongst us. Maybe we could commandeer a ship.
Right, Charisma, do you know any private boats here?
I don't know.
The only boat you would know of, Chrisma, would be your captain's boat, Firin. Firin has her boat, which is the boat that Thanon wants you to get supplies to. Um, um, Firin was there with Thanon, but she was helping with bodies, and there was no questions asked of her about the
She almost
boat.
died.
Right. That
Yeah.
was a pretty gnarly
That was
encounter.
close.
So,
Well, and we didn't know there was a plague yet. I mean, we didn't know the city was locked down yet.
correct.
Well, there is the
Mm.
sewers to try and escape through.
That's true.
Not
All right.
pleasant, but it'll be a way out.
So you've done all you can do here. Are you going back out to the checkpoint at this point?
Yes, come back to
Yeah.
meet Thamius and Skinny.
Okay.
What did they say?
Well, we know him. We know them as Wayland, right? Is that what we know Skinny as?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Wayland.
Oh, it's Wayland? Sorry.
yeah.
So
gotta
it's
change your
Bounty. We're
character.
going to assume Bounty unloads that information on us, right? Of what you learned. Or are you going to
Yes.
give us all the details?
Yeah, I'll tell you everything. It doesn't look good. It looks like a plague is breaking out. Everyone's scared. The humans look like they're going to start blaming the Fae because only humans are getting sick, and it doesn't look good. The city's locked down. We should probably get back to Thanon's and explain to him what's going on and see if he has any private boats for us, or we have to think about a plan B of getting out.
I'm gonna look at the two humans and be like, "You two just better keep your distance. I don't need to be getting sick."
Well, it sounds like you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, your people
Well,
aren't getting sick.
well, not yet. We don't know.
All right. Listen, while we're all together, and these are trying times that we're in, trapped in one part of the district here with no reasonable way to escape the city or to get away from this plague. I have to ask because you got to understand from my perspective, you've been good to me and helped me, but also you've been attacked by the Raven Syndicate. And Bounty, you have some ties to the Circle of Mages, and I have to know. And just be clear with me. I need to know so I can help everybody. What do you know about this plague? Or please, this is no longer a time for us to be holding secrets for one another.
I have no problem telling everything that the professor of life, Aaron L., told me. Like you said, he's sending out an envoy, or humans came to him and asked for help secretly to help the humans with some kind of healing. rituals. And like I said, there's bodies. I overheard there's morgues are filling up, bodies, sick humans, and it doesn't look good. So we really do have to start thinking of a way out in case things
What
go
do you,
really bad.
Now
what?
for Waylon and by the way, I do need to change. If here's a
It
question
will be
for you.
skinny eventually.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
Yeah,
skinny
that's
long
just
term,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you're just using Waylon as
Yeah.
a? Because I was like, do I need to change your
yeah,
title
that's
or
his
not?
undercover
Yeah,
name.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
your undercover name.
And
So
yeah,
undercover
that would
brother
go.
named Waylon.
Yeah.
Waylon, you and well, Skinny, you and Thamius. This sort of coincides with what you already knew in the sense that obviously you haven't had any updates since yesterday, but you knew from before that the reason the checkpoints were put in place in the first place was because people were starting to get sick and the church was concerned that there could be a plague coming. They were being very proactive about it, given that they had already been through a plague in the past and they kind of knew the signs. They weren't able to their healing magic wasn't working like it should be, and bodies were starting to pile up, and so you had heard whispers of this happening, of people being sick, and that's why the checkpoints were being put in place. But now it's escalated overnight while you were at the tavern. It's escalated from checkpoints to full on, oh, now we're implementing quarantine measures, and we are not allowing Fae beyond these points. We're shutting down the city. Uh, Main city gates. We're locking down the port and the harbor. It has escalated. So this, what Bounty is telling you, is news to you, but also kind of coincides with what you already knew was happening. It just sounds like it's gotten much worse overnight. Now, obviously, you have yet to independently verify, but to get you up to speed
It
on what your
fits.
characters,
It
yeah, it
fits.
fits what
Yeah.
you had heard already.
All right. Well, I believe we should head back and try to find somewhere safe, and I think we should probably try to avoid anyone who looks sick.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Thamius and Skinny, you need to roll Constitution saves,
Oh
please.
no. Roll high.
Yeah, roll high, please. Don't roll low. That's a
Oh,
12. Roll another one, please, because I forgot to have you roll in the morning before you left.
Oh
Oh.
my goodness. Oh well, I'm good.
Whatever.
Ah, there you go.
oh, well.
We should be okay.
You had your
Oh,
Wheaties.
Wheaties for
man,
breakfast.
guys are rolling good.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So from here, are you going back to Thanon's?
I think so.
Guess. I
Yeah.
think that's
Okay.
where we kind of need to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he kind of
Okay.
wanted to help fill him in too.
Are we going to be able
Well,
to get
and
to the inn, or are we going to stay at Thanon's?
I think Thanon sounds safer at this point because
Yeah.
of the sewer.
It's
too.
closer, yeah.
Just
And
in case.
And the sewer, yeah, too.
Yeah.
Sewers.
Just in case.
hmm
I'm not too
So you make your
keen on it, but
way. You make your way back to Thanon's. You find Thanon, Fear, and Hylan there along with Alfia. And they are in the middle of. They're still cleaning up the outside. All the bodies are gone. But they are rearranging boxes and crates and stuff out front as you arrive and stacking things up and loading a wagon.
You may want to slow down on that. You had asked us to check out what was going on, and there's
All right.
now strict checkpoints everywhere. We couldn't even get into the human district with the Fae and the Circle of Mages didn't allow Thamius and I in. And unfortunately, they also said that the entire city is locked down. Ships aren't even allowed to leave.
All
So
right.
that might put a crimp in your plans.
Well, I'm sure. Well, we might have to check some of the back channels and see if we can't get out. Fearin, you've run a blockade before, haven't you? Fearin's gonna turn around. I've ran a blockade, but it was like 10 ships. You're talking the Church of the Elder Ways Armada. I don't, it's possible we could get out on the Serpent's Tooth, but it would take a miracle and a lot of a lot of bribes and luck to be able to get past and out past the soldiers and everything. Um,
And they're not just using soldiers; they're using relic quantum technology as well.
Yeah.
what is the Church of the Elder Ways?
We'll
Well,
have to be more sneaky.
we'll have to see if we can get some more information from the docks to see how tightly the docks are locked down or not. As you're explaining the situation to them and they're listening to you, a high elf woman appears. And as she appears, Thanins and Althea are both going to run to her and both hug her at the same time. It's good to see you, Mother, he says. And Althea says the same. Strange that a dwarf would be calling a high elf mother and a brownie would be also calling a high elf mother. As it is, she hugs them back and then looks around and sees the strangers and says, "Who are you?"
Just a traveling crew. We just happened to come by and help with the forge here being attacked. We're just looking for a place to rest our weary bones.
Um,
Would I recognize her?
that's a good question. You probably would. Roll a 6, just don't roll a 6.
So I'll roll a d4.
D6. Roll a D6. Just don't roll a 6. Oh, sorry, I get the. Oh yeah, you definitely recognize her. You know her as. Excuse me. You know her as Leanna. She is the sister to the High Chancellor of the Circle of Mages. So this is
big deal.
she is a member of the Circle of Spirit. And her brother is the big head of the Circle of Mages.
Okay. Hi, Leanna.
Yes, do I know you?
What brings you to this humble abode?
Uh,
Oh,
I've come to see my friends, of course. You obviously, if you're here, you've gotten past the checkpoints. How might I ask, did you get past the checkpoints?
I just got back from the Circle of Mages, and I
And?
talked with what's his name?
Parthana.
Arenal.
Aranel. Ah, you know Aranel. So
Yes,
has he filled you in on the situation?
yes, the dire situation,
Oh.
and um, I guess it's good to see someone from the Circle of Mages that we could maybe talk to more about what's going on.
Well,
And
the
with
only
the
thing I know is that the Circle of Life are experimenting on a cure currently. Tomorrow morning, I will be accompanying a group of healers from the Circle of Life to the docks, where we are setting up a temporary triage to help the church. We will be attempting a curing ritual tomorrow. Speaking of which, Thanon, the mages are going to need some of your specialty boxes, the ones that are forged with silver and lead linings. There's some magical items that are quite delicate that we will need to transport tomorrow morning, and unfortunately, all of the containers that the mages usually use, I tied up in other ventures, not adventures. Thanon visibly brightens up at this. Well, that's a good thing. We can pack the supplies for Farron's ship in with the mages' gear and probably sneak it past the checkpoint, given that your mages are going to have special clearance, no?
Hmm.
Um, he's going to turn to your characters and say, on that note, it'd be a good idea if you can come back here in the morning to help load the wagons. We can transport them to the triage, and then after that, we can get them to the ship and take a look at how tight the blockade is in the harbor as well.
Are we going to be able to get back to the inn
But
from here with
don't
being
see why
attacked?
not. Just have to take the side streets.
What sort of things are you trying to smuggle through?
There's no smuggling happening here. It's just legitimate goods. We've got ale, we've got whiskey, I got ore, I got swords, I got permits for everything. That's what the dockmaster's for. I don't see you wearing the badge of the dockmaster.
But why not wait? Why not wait and do it legally?
I am doing it legally. We're going through the checkpoint tomorrow morning with clearance from the Circle of Mages.
I like to turn to the high elf and say, This is something you're comfortable with as such a high-standing member of the circle.
Ooh.
Comfortable with what? I'm not sure what you're driving at here.
Well, it's been asked that the church needs certain crates, but he's decided to
Well, hang on.
sneak
I
some
think
extra.
I think you're assuming that he's wanting to smuggle something, which he very well might be doing. But the issue here is that they can't get anything to Fearon's ship because of the checkpoint, and Thanon is just using the fact that the mages want to use his wagons and his crates as a means to get the supplies to Fearon's vessel. That it's not to
Yeah, I
say
don't
that.
like that. I don't like
Okay,
that.
fair enough. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's just trying to smuggle. He might be trying to smuggle some stuff, but he's very, like I said, he's very, what? You're not the city watch. Who are you to question me?
He's being opportunistic, taking advantage of a situation.
Right, but Thamius wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, for sure, I get it, but
Well, do what you will, but I can't partake in the breaking of the law, or at best the bending of the law.
You're assuming there's some laws being broken. These are legitimate goods. Look, come here, take a look. It's swords. He's gonna open up a crate. Look, right there, swords. He's gonna open up another crate. Look, it's ore, stamped. Here's my mark of approval, right here on this piece of paper. You can read, can't you?
Well, if it's so approved, then you should just be able to send it through, though.
I can't get through the checkpoints because your damn church bastards have got the whole streets locked down.
He's got a point.
We have piles of body of our people. So at this time, for all we know, your goods could be contaminated.
I've not been touched by no human. These are dwarven goods. There's nothing wrong with dwarven goods. These are pure steel. He's going to take a swig of whiskey and spit it down on the swords. And that's a cure right there. That'll wipe out any contamination you might be thinking about.
A waste of good ale.
Aye, it was a waste of good ale.
Well, I have no way to report you in any case. I can't assist in something that would be taking advantage of the situation in the city.
What do you think, Liana, of this arrangement?
If he has legitimate goods that can be transported, I see no reason why he couldn't load them on the wagon.
Okay, good.
We'll be telling
good enough for me.
We'll be letting them know that we've got some extra going through, I assume.
I'm sure the church guards at the checkpoint will be inspecting things as we go through.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
So at this point,
right.
yeah.
So are we? They want us to help them load these things, or
tomorrow morning? He's asking you to come back tomorrow morning to help load the wagons in the morning.
Is there places to sleep here, or do we have to go to the inn?
You'll have to go to the inn. He's got a room for him. And
we gotta get beat up a few times on our way.
You're right. I haven't got my daily licking.
I haven't getting beaten up yet. All right. So we got to go back.
All right. So
best way to deal with bad news is to drown it down with ale. So I say we go back.
Hey. Yeah, I could use a Guinness.
You could use a Guinness.
Do it.
Okay, got my audio back. Sorry about that.
Oh, all right.
What happened? What did I miss? Laryngitis.
Laryngitis.
What happened? She cast laryngitis on me. That's what Sparrow said. What's going on? What I miss? I'm sorry. I lost audio for a second.
We have to go get beat up through the streets and get back to the inn.
Well, we can't stay here?
No.
Apparently not.
No.
I'm not an inn, and the only rooms I got are for me and Althea.
We just saved your life.
We can sleep on the dining room floor. If you send us through and then we have to come back, we're going to beat up 6 times back and forth.
Oh, you'll be fine. Stop being so pansies.
Well,
it's a waste of time.
To be fair, I hate to say this, but it's probably less likely at this point in time, unless Theron's brother's crew is out and about, that we'd probably run into too much trouble with the lockdowns.
I don't know. If they're not letting people in, They could be
Yeah, but
stuck
they're
on
not
this
letting
side.
humans through.
Well, they let humans back in. Yeah.
Right,
Mm.
but wasn't it
So-
mixed parties?
It was Theron's group of his brother's group was
Mhm.
mixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheryl's good.
Well, I mean, the man says he doesn't have room.
We just saved
Ryder?
his life. Okay, that's fine.
You all need to roll sixes. Just roll sixes real quick. If the
But not
roll
roll
if
sixes?
if roll d6s, everyone, and if your cumulative rolls are ones and twos, oh, I see a 5 in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a four.
dwarves don't. Dwarves
Alright.
aren't very convincing.
Go ahead and roll a 6, Chris. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
All right. As you are getting ready to leave, Firin is going to motion Chrisma and say, "Chrisma, come quickly, please. Come here." So this is your captain, Christina. She's calling you over and saying, "Come here." She's going to give you a note, like a document, and say, "Could you please, if you get a chance, there will be a man. You're going to know him as Darren. He'll meet you at the Muddy Maid Tavern. If you could give this to Darren, please." Yes. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. And if we want to do this role play wise, I'm going to do this in Spanish as if she's speaking sea elf to sea elf.
Like it.
Okay.
okay.
Aquí es una nota que tú puedes entregar a Darren. Darren es otro miembro del equipo
Mhm.
de su barco.
Yes.
Y él está en la taberna donde vas a dormir esperando para ti. ¿Ok?
Okay. So.
Ese es el idioma de elfos de mar. Hablan español. Sea elves
Okay,
speak Spanish, ladies and gentlemen.
I think Christmas should just, if that's how she's comfortable, should just speak Spanish, and
Yep.
you could translate what we would understand of that.
There you go.
I think that would open her up to feel more comfortable, and I would think that would be
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Might do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she doesn't speak common very much.
Yeah.
You don't speak common, you only speak sea elf.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes if she wants to, she knows some comments.
Well, she has been, I mean, from a role player's perspective, she's spent most of her life as a sea elf ship deck hand. So she may not have had a lot of time to be exposed to common other than times out on the shore. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine, Chris. We just haven't found a lot for this character because you're not a ranger this time, so your stuff comes later once we get back on the ship.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You're going back. We got to roll. Are there any encounters on the way back?
18 owl bears.
Oh, 13.
Oh, you rolled a
just
20.
13.
Maybe there's 20 of them.
All right. You make it back to the tavern without any issues. You have a good night's
Woohoo.
rest. Do we actually need to do a rest for the characters?
Yes, I used all my spells at the last battle.
Combat tracker. Menu. Rest. Long rest. All right. Everybody is rested up.
There we go.
Oh, I need
Do
to
we get ammo back at this point?
We have not. You have not went to a merchant.
To say I've picked up a few arrows that I've spent, but
You get
Yeah.
half after each encounter.
yeah, that's what I've
Right.
been doing.
Since
So I
I've
would-
only used one, do I keep the one or do I lose the one?
Just lose the one. It would be if you shot 2, you would have 1, but you
Right.
haven't shot 2 yet. Make sure to get these people off. Gotta delete them off real quick.
So we slept through the night.
Yes,
Yep.
back at the tavern.
Wow, that was like our first normal.
Yeah.
No
Whoa.
kidding.
Oh, this is a weird
was-
feeling.
PTSD. I was like
Maybe
looking
this town is good.
behind
We'll stay
every
here, I
corner.
guess.
I think at this point that's an ill omen.
It's too quiet.
All right, next morning you wake up,
believe
you have
they
made-
breakfast. Go ahead.
Renfell, real
Yes.
quick. I would have, when I was laying down, I would have open the book. Now my character isn't the fastest reader,
Oh,
nor
sure.
the smartest,
Yeah, I forgot about
but
the
I would
book.
have at least tried to dig a little bit into the book.
Let us roll a 6, Nathan.
Okay.
Let's see if you find anything on your first time reading through. You do not.
Okay.
It's just some random scribbles. It
Yeah.
looks like a log journal of dealings. So the smuggler appears to have been taking notes of what he delivered to these elven mages. There's a couple of names that are mentioned, so you can take note of those if you want. They don't seem to repeat. You read through about 6 pages. It mostly appears to be a log of the times that he had dealings and what he did, what he dealt in each transaction, and how much money he got from each one. So,
Okay.
50 gold
Okay.
here, 2 casks of ale, Brilliant brandy, cigars, that kind of stuff. A couple of Cubans.
All right. All right.
When you come down for breakfast the next morning, Chrisma, there is you recognize Darren. He is
There.
a short human, maybe about 30 years of old. He works on the boat with Firen and you. You're his cap. You're the first mate. How do you say first mate in Spanish? Like the
Primer maestro.
primer maestro del barco. So you're his boss. He's
You're John Silver.
Yeah, Long John Silver from Black Sails, Chris. You're Long John Silver. So he works under you. So he's gonna, as you walk up to the bar, he's going to salute you. What can I do for you, first mate?
I have a document. Yes.
From
From
Firen?
that
Firen,
I
okay.
need.
Ah, thank you. I'll take it. And he's gonna open it up and he's gonna read it. I can get right on that. Are you doing well?
Yeah.
All right. Tell her we've got. You might want to write this down, Chris.
Yeah.
You might want to write this part down.
Okay.
He's going to tell you when you next see Firen, tell her the way is open. The way is open. But make sure to use the back door. Okay? El camino es abierto, pero usa la puerta atrás.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what he wants you to tell Firen. And then he's going to salute you and he's going to leave. That's before breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Now the rest of you can get down, sit down, have breakfast, etc., and then go back to Thanon's. Ooh.
Bad GM. Bad
Yeah,
GM.
let's roll a 6. As you are on your way back, you do see a group of about 20 ruffians in
20?
combat with the city guard off on one of the
Yeah.
side streets, but you managed to catch it in time to not stumble into the middle of the fray. You could sneak around and make your way to Thanon's.
Does it look like the city guards got it under control?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I just usher you along, Damien. Nothing to see
Let's
here.
go.
Nothing
Nothing to see.
Just move along.
Eyes straight ahead.
When you arrive, there's a group of around 20 mages from the Circle of Life carefully placing various items into lead-lined and silver-lined boxes and crates in the back of Thanon's wagons. That's what you see when you arrive. As you get there, Thanon waves at you, Firen and Halen wave at you, and welcome, welcome. Let's get these crates loaded and get everything delivered to the docks.
Then
And
and I have to point out that it does appear there are quite a few more crates being loaded up here than you showed me earlier.
I think your eyes are deceiving you. There's the exact same number of crates that were here yesterday. Just gonna roll for this actually. Let's see if there are more crates. Roll a 6. Roll a 6 just to see.
Right.
No,
Oh,
you do a quick recount, and you know it
It matches.
looks like it matches from what it was yesterday.
Okay.
So
All right
he
then.
called
All
your
right.
bluff.
All
He
right.
called your bluff, and or maybe they loaded some stuff that you didn't see.
All right. All right.
Always looking for trouble, you are.
I'm just trying to uphold order and law.
And I'm gonna tell Thanon that there was a group of 20 brigands being fighting the city guard, but he might not get his goods through just from all the ruffians and criminals wandering the streets.
Fearin, Chrisma, encontraste Darren.
Yeah.
Tienen la mensaje para mí.
Yes, I have a messenger for you.
Puedes hablar en español si quieres, como porque ella es hablando en elfo contigo.
Ok, tengo un mensaje para ti de
Darren.
Aaron. Él me dijo que eh, necesitamos que cuando el camino ya está abierto, está abierto, pero tenemos que asegurarnos de usar la puerta de atrás.
Ah, okay. Fearin is going to turn at the comments that you were just making and say, we shouldn't have any problems beyond the checkpoints.
Okay.
She's addressing, I believe it was Galoon who was commenting. Somebody had just commented on.
Galoon, yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't have any problems beyond
You
the
say so.
checkpoints. She's
All
going
right,
to give
well,
you a
we should
wink.
get
She's going to
going.
give you a subtle wink.
Just say, yeah, because we don't understand what's going on, but yeah, we can infer that something was just said
Let's see if
that
anybody else
assured
saw
her
the
that
wink that she just gave Galoon.
Yeah, because I'm on high alert here. I feel suspicious
Yeah,
activity.
everybody, not everybody, but Bim, Bounty, Skinny, and Thamius roll a perception check to see if you saw the wink that Fearin just gave Galoon.
nope,
No
I'm
winking going
looking
on at all.
shiny stuff.
Yeah, Skinny caught it. Shit, Thamius caught it too.
Thamius.
And Bounty.
Seen that one? Seen it.
All right, so three of you saw
I
the
saw
wink.
it's got something in my eyes. All this pollen.
That's how elves say goodbye. Jeez, relax.
Bannon, what exactly is going on here? You're putting my group here in danger here.
We're
with this.
loading up supplies for the mages, and we're loading up supplies for Firin's vessel. Look here, we've got various types of ore melted down into ingots. These are being shipped back west to a small village near Forkland called Marin's Rest. There's a human smithy there named Corbin Fairn, who's an old student of mine, and I send him surplus ingots from time to time. Here is the waybill if you'd like to inspect it. There's also some smithing supplies, a few barrels of my home-brewed ale, destined for a place called the Stony Brook Tavern in Marin's
Woohoo.
Rest, along with nails, bars, and some other stock for the maintenance of the serpent's tooth. Would you like to inspect my teeth while you're at it?
Perhaps if they were full of winks and secret handshakes and other conspiratorial activity, perhaps I would.
Let me. Can I see the waybill there? Maybe because I work with the church and we deal with the
You know what?
Yes,
Take
yeah.
it, do
shipments
it.
all the
Let-
time.
Yeah,
Let the smart
Yeah, let
human
me just
see.
see here.
What are you looking for?
I'll look like I'm looking it over and just checking the equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How does it look?
No.
How does it look, Waylon?
It looks okay here, brother Thamius. I think we want to make sure, but I think we're safe in trusting this guy as an honest merchant. I'll pass it back to Theron there. Sorry about that. I just figured I'd put my brother's mind at ease there, to make sure it's all on the up and up.
Right. Well, after you help Fearin and Halen and Thanon load all of the goods along with things that are being loaded by the mages, you're going to go from here. Now, the elves, not just the elves. It's 20 of the Circle of Life mages. There's fae of all types here. It's mostly elves. There's a few brownies, a couple halflings, a couple dwarves. They've brought their own 2 wagons as well, and along with Thanon's wagon, and they are now good to go. You're gonna go up the main street back to. I should probably pull up the main map here so that we're we know where we're at here. Images, Parthana, share this map. All right, it should be shared with everybody. So you're going up towards Heron's Plaza, which is number 8 on the map. You're going to get to the checkpoint, and just like normal, you're going to wait a little bit in line, and you're eventually going to get to the front, and there's going to be a bit of a commotion at the sight of 20 elves, and etc. from the Circle of Life, a bunch of fae, approaching this checkpoint. It's going to cause a little bit of a ruckus. As this is going down, one of the Circle of Life mages is going to step forward with a document that is signed, and the checkpoint captain is going to read over it, and he's going to look very disgruntled as he's reading it, but it does have the signature. You overhear this being said, that it has the signature of the Enlightened Father himself, and that these elves from the Circle of Life and the wagons are to be allowed to go through the checkpoint without any issue. Um,
Ha ha.
as this happens, as you go through, the captain's obviously upset, but there is a young lieutenant who, as you go through, he's going to stop, as not stop you, but as you're going through, he's going to quickly walk up to you, and he's gonna he's visibly relieved, and he starts shaking the hand of the elf who was just showing the paperwork to the guard captain, and he's, thank you so much for helping. My sister is one of those interned in the triage tents. Thank you so much for being willing to help. The church's magics have not been able to heal her, and the fact that you're willing to go out of your way to help my people, please know that not all of us are like that against you. Not all of us hate your kind. Thank you so much for being willing to help us. And he's just overjoyed by the fact that someone's coming to help his sister and potentially um, cure her at this point, which goes a long way to establish the fact that not all church members are racist against the Fae. This is kind of an important element in the ongoing role play of the campaign, in that, you know, racism and the distrust of the Fae, and likewise from the Circle of Mages against the Church of the Other Ways, is a thing that is, it's definitely real, and it's definitely a big part of life here in Parthana. But especially as you get out into the outposts, and the further away you get from the city, the less likely it is to find these sort of heightened levels of distrust and even racism against different people. But it's just an important thing to keep in the back of your mind, that even during a heightened crisis like this, not everyone distrusts the elves, and not all elves and fae distrust humans. Um, as you start to go up the north past the plaza, you eventually reach the Muddy Maid itself off to your right. And as you approach the Muddy Maid Tavern, you're actually going to bear off to the west through a few side alleys until you reach a triage station of around 24 tents, each large enough to house a couple dozen individuals. Um, the stench is fairly overwhelming as you arrive. Um, it smells like death and infection, and it's not good. You're met by a grizzled old Templar at the entrance, who is going to escort the wagons to one of the larger tents near the perimeter. At this point, the mages are going to start to unload their tools into the tent and these boxes and crates. And the Templar, yes, the Templar, along with Leanna, and the mage from the Circle of Life, who you hear his name mentioned now, his name is Jalen, are beginning to discuss things with the Templar as you're unloading all of the wagons, and helping the mages get their gear unloaded into the tents. Once everything's been unloaded, Leanna is going to approach you. We're now going to attempt the healing ritual. I don't know if any of you want to attend, or if you would like to wait out here, but we're going to see what we can see now, and see if perhaps what we've concocted works or not.
Would we
I'm
be of any assistance to join, or will we just be getting in the way?
It's possible that your magics from the relics for the Templars could be of assistance. I don't know
Then I'll
exactly what
go.
the Circle of Mages is. Leanna explains. I am of the Circle of Spirits, so I'm here to simply oversee. Um, but yeah, so anyone who
I'll,
wants to attend
So
can.
yeah, I'll
yeah,
go. If I be of any help, I'll go.
and
Is
Liana.
Fearin with us?
Firen is going to remain with the wagons along with Thanon and Althea. But yes, they're all here.
Okay, because I just wanted to like kind of ask her away from the humans if there's any way we can get out of this city, because I'm not liking being stuck in here with what's going on.
We're gonna have to check. That's one of the things we're doing after this is we got to deliver the goods to the docks, and once we're there, we'll be able to get a better look to see what exactly is going on with the blockade. Um, my man said that there was a way, but we have to see if that way is still open or not. So we will know shortly.
Okay.
Once we're all
Is
wrapped up here, we'll be making our way back to the boats.
is Aranel here? Do I notice?
It's a good question. Let me roll. He is not here.
Hmm. Okay, so Liana, I did study under the Circle of Life, so I might be help and
Well,
assistance in there.
please come into the tent.
Okay, I will.
I'll wait out with the ale.
Okay.
I'm staying away from sick people.
Yeah.
Okay.
no-
I'm gonna
Speaking-
go in case I would be of help.
Speaking of which,
Why'd you have to mess it
Oh,
up?
I do need Thamius and
All right.
Skinny to roll Constitution saves.
Yeah, this will be the one.
Do 2 of them, please.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh, there's
there
a
it is.
Oh.
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 Just for fun.
and an 11.
Because 2 passed,
Oh,
right?
that-
I'm sure 2 is fine. It's gonna be a 1.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
too. I'm
Oh,
sure. I'm
yeah,
sure.
it's
Sure,
just
DC
fine.
check's probably just 1. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know.
How much virus could there really be, right?
They're little.
All right. Okay, so those of you who have went into the tent, you enter the tent and you notice a man being escorted into the tent by 2 robed church members, or at least it was a man at some point. It's hard to tell in his current state. His face is a mass of bloody sores, with one eye completely swollen shut and pus visibly draining down his cheek from under the closed lid. The man is guided to one of the beds, 2 elves stepping forward to help. 2 church members lift him as gently as they can. Even so, groans of pain issue forth from between the man's swollen lips, and he heaves a gurgling moan as he is laid backwards. The stench is more overwhelming here than it was outside. Let us begin. Jalen's voice is somber, a tone uncommon for elves except under the gravest of circumstances. He steps forward and carefully pulls back the man's robes. Skin and pus come with the cloth as it is peeled from the body, moans issuing forth from the man despite the care that Jalen is taking with his actions. Both men and elves alike murmur their shock at the sight of the man's body, the pustules of his face mirrored across the entirety of his flesh. Literally, the flesh falling away from him in places like portions of a melted candle, the stark white of the bone showing through. Once the man is disrobed, the elves from the Circle of Life join together around his bed. Wands and tomes and various enchanted items used to focus powers during intense spells are held in the hands of each, and as they establish the circle around the bed, Jalen begins to murmur the words of the spell. The elves sway and mutter words in Elvish. The man on the bed begins to writhe in pain, his moans turning to cries of anguish. A sickly sweet smell begins to emanate from his body as the pustules begin to shrink, the flesh beginning to mend itself and cover bone, and screams begin to work their way back to cries of pain and then down again to moans. Sweat glistens on men and elves alike as the mages continue to chant, a soft blue-green glow encompassing the man's body as the moans eventually fade and stillness takes him. The chanting slows and stops. The glow fades, and Jalen heaves a heavy sigh and opens his eyes slowly. It is done. The elf here then turns to the grizzled old Templar and tells him to bring more of the sick in.
Wait,
You,
is this guy dead?
no,
He's better.
appears to have
Okay.
been cured.
Oh, okay.
But he's in a state of rest now. He's unconscious after, but his wounds have appeared to heal, He went from crying out in pain to he's basically sleeping now in a healing type of coma. Jalen is going to turn to the Templar to ask him to bring more of the sick members in. He's going to turn to Bounty. Would you like to be of assistance during the healing ritual?
I will do what I can.
Okay. He's also going to turn to Thamius. And your church clergy can transfer energy, can you not?
Indeed.
You know of what he speaks. Then you could also be assistance in transferring any energy to the Fey mages, who will eventually. It's one thing to heal one person, but we're going to be here for a few hours. So any help you can give in terms of energy transference. So basically, what he's describing to you is something that church members can do. It would basically be like, how you can use your lay of hands and cure wounds and so on and so forth. Basically, he's just asking you to keep an eye on the mages as they're doing these healing spells, because it's going to drain a lot for the mages and any help that can be given to them. So the two of you are going to help. As you are doing this, you're going to feel exceptionally drained as this goes on for the rest of the afternoon. You're going to end up healing about 40 people, which is everyone that's in the triage tents. It is going to impact your constitution for the next 48 hours. Bounty and Thamius are going to have a -2 to your constitution. Any sort of constitution checks or saves will be at a -2 penalty for the next 48 hours, because you're going to be exceptionally drained from having helped the elves with this healing ritual. But you do cure around 40 people, all of the sick people who were at the tents. Everybody's exceptionally tired, but the Templars and mages, as this is ending up, there is no animosity by the time you're done here. The Templars and Paladins are embracing the elves. The elves are smiles and embracing the Paladins. This is a good day for everyone involved. Everyone is happy. We've saved a lot of lives. There's none of the heightened tension that you saw from the previous days. This was good all around.
Nice.
From here,
Hope was restored.
what's that?
I said hope was
Hope was restored.
restored.
Yeah. From here, once you get up here, as you go out, those of you who were waiting for Fearin and Highland, at some point, they came out and told you that they're going to be there healing for the rest of the day. You went and helped Fearin and Highland unload the supplies onto the ship, during which time they did inspect the blockade. It is very tight. Fearin's doesn't say anything to you. She just kind of frowns as she looks out over the. She's watching patrols and checkpoints and looking at how the docks is set up. And she mutters something to Halen, but she doesn't say anything to you. She just thanks you for your assistance. And Thana's going to give you 100 gold for helping. And those of you who are no longer, or excuse me, those of you who are not crew members. So basically, I guess this is going to be just Galoon, and Bim. The two of you, if you want additional work, I am going to be making a return trip to Forkland tomorrow. We will find a way through this blockade if it's the last thing I do. I have my ways, and we'll see what we can make happen tomorrow. So if you would like to return with me, I can promise you more gold. If you would like to escort us back to Forkland, tell the rest of your party members if they would like to assist you as well, because like you, Galoon, I believe that it is a good time to be getting out of the city.
Excellent. I will definitely let them know, and I will say yes for myself and hopefully for the rest of the party. I'll try to convince them.
Yeah.
I missed it. Who got the 100 gold?
You don't know anything about 100 gold.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we
I
weren't
just
even there.
You're
okay.
we
just
weren't there.
tired.
I'm just tired.
Yeah,
I'm just-
you're coming out of the tents as they are finishing up. Bounty and Thamius are coming out of the tents. That's a good question. Skinny, would you have gone with them, or would you have stayed with Thamius? I'm assuming you would have stayed with Thamius.
Yeah, he said he was gonna
No, I was staying away from the sick people.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I
You stayed
probably would've helped
outside.
them with
That's
it.
right.
So you would have
Yeah,
went.
I
You
probably
would
would
have.
have helped them.
You would have
Yeah.
helped. So okay. So you've
Something to do.
witnessed all this, etc. At this point, everyone can return to the Muddy Maid Inn, and you can meet up there. As you arrive, it's quite late, probably around 9 p.m. at this point, 8 or 9 p.m. There is a party going on in the tavern. It is packed.
Party.
Oh, before we leave, I should know where I'm supposed to meet her the next
At
day.
the ship.
Like a time, you know.
Yeah, meet me at the ship tomorrow morning. So, 9 a.m.
Okay.
As you get back to the Muddy Maid, there's a party going on. The place is packed. At the heart of the party appears a man named Harry and his wife Pamela. This is explained to you by Marilyn. As you enter in, it's just chaos. Hey, welcome back. Come on, drinks on the house tonight. That's Harry and his wife Pamela. That their daughter over there, Frida. And let's see. Bounty and Thamius, roll a perception roll. Bounty, you recognize her. She was one of the sick people. One of the sick. She was one of the people who was healed in the triage tents today.
Frida?
Yes, the daughter. So the man's name is Harry. Marilyn explains. So Harry's a local baker who supplies bread for the tavern. He's like family around here. So everyone we knew has been invited to celebrate his daughter's miraculous recovery at the hand of the mages. Meanwhile, Frida actually recognizes you as one of the mages who is helping, and Thamius as well, and she comes over and thanks you personally. You notice that she looks very weak, but otherwise she appears in good health, which is normal for someone who was just recently on death's door and healed by magic. A round of drinks go around. You're invited, and do you want to participate in the party?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's celebrate this
Oh,
young
yeah,
lady and her
we
restored health.
here.
All right. The party goes on until around midnight, at which point Pamela and Frida escort Harry upstairs to her room. He is quite drunk, but very, very happy. Everyone is celebrating. There's a cure for the plague. Their daughter has been healed. This is a time for everyone. Let's roll. For those of you who are participating, um, uh, going into we're going to midnight at this point. And everyone's going to be drinking. Everyone's going to be participating. How heavy was everyone participating? Galoon as a dwarf, I'm going to assume that you have no reason to not get smashed face drunk because it's your chance to be like, party in an ale house. The
Well, I'm
question is, do you
also.
break
You're
out
right.
break
You're
out
right,
any of
but
your
I'm
own?
no, because I also don't trust. Like I've been attacked how many times, and I've been attacked in this inn. Like I was thinking when I go to bed, I'm going fully clothed with my axe in my arm. Like I don't trust anyone. It's a horrible city.
All right, so as the party's going on tonight, how many of you are partaking in the party, and how many of you are fuddy duds?
Was the
Not a
boat supposed to
fuddy-dud.
leave first thing tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning.
Can I try and sneak out and sneak my way back to the circle to try and get back to Mariel? To let her know that I'm
During the
trying to leave
chaos of
tomorrow
the
morning?
party.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and sneak out and I'll hide in shadows to try and get back to the circle to get back to Mariel, to let her know I'm leaving tomorrow.
Well, do you know that you're leaving?
Probably.
Yeah, I would have told.
You would have
Yeah.
told him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Based on what you've heard, you're not going to want to go out on the streets alone at night.
At all?
That's not going
Okay.
to be something that you would want to attempt, just because of everything going on.
At this
Okay.
point, I would have, at this particular point, I would have also told everybody would help them to the docks and see them off.
Okay.
Because I would have no reason to leave at this particular point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is anyone participating in the party, or are you all fuddy-dudds?
Well, I definitely
I think
drank.
you're all
I-
nervous.
drinking.
You're all way
I
too
would have
nervous.
participated, but
Yeah.
also as a paladin, I wouldn't be like heavy, but I would be drinking. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's all I need to know. It's just if you're having
I
a
wouldn't
good
be trying
time,
to
or if
get.
you're just
I
getting
wouldn't try
there.
to black out drunk
Bim-
here, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta be alert
Bim
enough to
shoot
swing my
arrows.
axe.
I got the lampshade.
What did you say, Joey?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Bim shooting like at the Bim shooting like the trophies on the wall and shit. Like he's just done.
Bim is completely trashed.
Bum.
All right, so it's a good time, and everybody goes to bed around midnight. Okay, so everyone's gone to sleep. Okay. Everybody goes to bed. You've had a few drinks. Nobody's completely trashed, but it is quite late when you go to bed because it's midnight before Marilyn, excuse me, starts. I said Muriel because of.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marilyn kicks everybody out around midnight, and everybody gets off to their rooms. You awaken to screams coming from the hallway, and the walls of your room shudder as something is thrown against the hallway wall.
Oh my!
Right.
We all hear
See?
this?
Well, let's roll a 6 to see how many of you actually wake up and are conscious of this, or how many of you are going to wake up as this is going on. So, not just 6. Sorry, roll a perception here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good, because I rolled a 6 on my 6, and that's not.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, somebody did roll a 1. Chrisma, no.
Just way up.
All right,
Well,
so
I'm in Christmas room, so I'll wake her up.
yeah, so most of you hear it.
Hopefully, I heard it. Otherwise, me and Bounty are.
Bounty didn't hear it. Bim, Bim, you heard it. You all hear the screams, other than
Okay,
Chrisma
good.
and Bounty, and your party members can wake you up. But you hear a horrific scream
Yeah.
coming from the hallway, and the walls of the room shake as if something
Oh,
was just thrown
jeez.
against the wall of the hallway.
Knew this place wasn't safe.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
shake
Not
Bounty
exact-
and be like, Bounty, wake up!
Ma, what? What? School? What?
Yeah, my sword at the ready. I would at least peek out the door,
Yeah.
like creak the door open, try to peek out and see what's going on.
I don't
All
know
right.
if I want to open the door.
Do you have
Well, I would
I'll
ass-
like-
male pajamas?
I just want to see what's going on. I want to take a little peek, make sure nobody's in any danger, or
I'm assuming everyone would be opening up the door a little bit. I mean,
yeah, at least looking. Yeah,
yeah.
Ugh.
they have chain locks. How does the lock
It's just
system
a
here?
normal lock here. At
What's
the end
going
of the
on, man?
hallway, at the end of the hallway, near the top of the stairs, a terror meets your eyes. A strange creature unlike anything you have ever seen before is hunkered down over a twitching body, gurgling cries issuing forth from a torn throat as the creature feeds upon the still alive person. Midway down the hall towards your group, a crumpled body lies upon the floor, a bright splash of blood painting the wall above where it was thrown against the woodwork of the wall. The creature is humanoid in form, but its limbs are far longer than that of a human. Talons extend from both the toes and fingers, its skin a grayish hue, though it's difficult to tell exactly what color it is in the dim light of the hallway lanterns. Wisps of blonde hair fall from its otherwise hairless scalp, and it looks up as it senses your presence, a snarl forming on its lips, revealing fangs that would make a vampire jealous. It drops the body with a thud, blood and gore dripping from its snarling maw, and charges towards you.
Who?
Now, Thamius was the first one to
At
open
the
his
door.
mouth. He was opening his door, so
I will save you.
Close it, lock the door.
Yeah, I would definitely try to close that door. I would definitely try to close the door. I was expecting maybe a drunk guy or something.
all right. Now here's a good question I have to ask you because I did not expect that you're going to get this far tonight. So before we go any further, I would like to ask the party: do you want to continue or do we want to wrap it up? Because it is 10 o'clock, and last week I
Yeah.
pushed everybody too late. This is a good point, like a cliffhanger of a place to
Mhm.
stop, because beyond here, this encounter will take a little bit,
Yeah.
and there's some stuff that happens afterwards as well, and we would probably be going for another 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Wrap it
Wrap
up
it up.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
So we get a cliffhanger ending tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as something is rushing down the hallway to um, attack Thamius, since he peeked out the door and said, "Hello, what's going on here?"
I
Um,
must be
Who goes
good
there?
and see what's going on.
if you liked what you saw here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I would urge you to make sure to tune in next week, as we are live every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central here on the Weave in the Void Twitch channel. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. These go out on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. on the YouTube channel. Links to everybody's channels are down below because, as we mentioned at the beginning of this video, we all do multi-streaming stuff together as well in Project 1999, World of Warcraft Classic. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's links to Nathan's channel for Thamius. There's links to Galoon's channel, aka Sparrow. So go check out all those links below. And don't forget, if you would like to play through this campaign with your friends as part of a homebrew tabletop encounter, you can get the Escape from Parthana module as well as the source book for our Weave and Void campaign over at weaveandvoid.com. Get a standalone copy there, or the best option is to subscribe over at the Patreon page at the Dungeon Master tier. You get a copy that way, plus you get access to all the updates that happen throughout the week on the Patreon page, plus you get access to the book chapters as they go live. And there's a bunch of other stuff like map packs. We'll have some upcoming artwork from Nathan and some other cool stuff. So check all those things out. This is where we're going to wrap up for the night, so I'll let everybody sign off for the evening. And as we do, I would like to say thanks to everyone who tuned in live tonight for being here with us and giving us a couple hours of your time on a Sunday evening. And if you want to support the channel, don't forget you can always subscribe here on Twitch and beyond.
Night, everybody.
Night all.
Yeah.
Night,
Good night, all.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.